This is Special Chronicles, giving respect and a voice to people with special needs.
I shudder thinking how the world can be so cruel. I lend my voice to those who can't. It's time we tried, it's time we care, it's time we stand. It starts with a voice.
Welcome to the Special Chronicles podcast. Special Chronicles presents Inclusive Health Series, Season 2, Part 2. This is Daniel Spakowski, founder of Special Chronicles and a health messenger with Special Olympics. This week, our topic is healthy athletes as we break down the 8 disciplines: MedFest, Lions Club, Opening Eyes, Healthy Healing, Special Smiles, health promotion, prevention, and nutrition, strong minds, physical therapy, fun fitness, and fit feet, and talk about how this benefits all of us athletes. Plus, we sit down with a Healthy Healing clinical director recorded live from the 2024 Summer Games. And joining me back this week is Taylor. Please put your hands together as we welcome Taylor back.
Hey, Daniel.
Awesome, and it's good to have you back. And this week, I'm sure some listeners and some in our Special Olympics community might know about healthy athletes, but I'm sure that there's a lot that are new to healthy athletes. And so let's break down what the 8 disciplines are.
Yeah, happy to. So Healthy Athletes is one of the programs that our health initiatives we offer and Special Olympics offer throughout the world. Just like Illinois, what it is really is our free medical screenings and education that we offer to all of our athletes so they can feel the best on and off the playing field. And yes, there are 8 total disciplines. Currently, Illinois offers 5. Last year, between the 5 disciplines, we screened over 2,000 of our athletes. And I'm going to do a deeper dive into each of these disciplines that we offer and on top of the 3 that we don't currently offer. We do our best to coordinate our healthy athlete events with local volunteer health professionals and student partners. And these health screenings are often held with state events or often stand alone. It just really depends on what the date lands on. So one of the 8 disciplines that we do offer is the MedFest, which is a physical exam. All of our athletes are required to have physical exams on file in order to participate in our sports. So we offer MedFest to help our athletes get involved in our sports by offering this. What MedFest is essentially we do physical exams. So we have doctors, nurse practitioners, medical students come out and do a variety of evaluation on their medical history, do an evaluation on the height and weight, blood sugar pressure reading, and also do a couple of tests that are involved in a typical physical exam: heart, abdominal health, and mobility. And then they have a checkout station, which kind of just a quick review of the findings of their physical exam. If the doctor determines that they're healthy to play, or if they should do a follow-up care with their current doctor. So that's a little bit about MedFest. We do host these throughout the state, throughout every year. And then, of course, we have Opening Eyes, which is which is what we offer at Summer Games in Chicago. And I know, Dan, you have quite some experience with this. I know you're wearing your new glasses today from our Summer Games. So what our Opening Eyes is not a comprehensive exam, but we do severely do non-dilated vision screenings, refraction tests. Refraction tests are what measures a person's prescription to determine if they need eyeglasses or contacts. If the athlete does not pass the vision test, they are eligible to get free glasses on site. We ship them to a lab, and then the lab sends the glasses to us, and then we ship it to the individual's homes, and they get new glasses within 2 months. It's a really awesome opportunity for our athletes that have a hard time seeing, that have updated glasses. Did you have? I think you had something to say about opening eyes.
Open eyes, yeah, I did, yeah. So the first time I went through it was at the 2022 USA Games in Orlando, and then again this past summer at our state summer games. And what I found really, because like I noticed, like, both in the past when I used to swim or whether I was playing basketball, because I have a hard time seeing in a distance. Going through the opening eyes, I was able to get the eye exam that not only will help me in my daily life, like being able to see you now, but what I found was really encouraging was to be able, for the first time, to get sport goggles with a prescription that I because like in the past, like for basketball, my glasses would always fall off when I was playing, but now thanks to the Lions Club opening eyes, I was able to, in addition to the regular pair of glasses, able to get the sport goggles to be able to better help me in my competition.
Right, and then when you're wearing glasses or sport goggles that fit your face, you feel more confident on the field too. You're not feeling you have to hold your glasses the whole time. And that's really cool about this program, along with getting the free glasses, is they have so many different selections for athletes to choose from. There's not just one style. There's, I want to say, definitely at least 20 different styles of colors, oval, circles, rectangular frames. So I think it's really cool that it's not just one glasses that everybody gets, it's a variety. So everyone gets glasses that fit their vision needs, but also fits their face and their style, and so they can match, meet the fashion needs standards, I should say.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so if there's any athletes or that's listening, or if anyone of you that's listening that knows of an athlete that has not taken part in opening eyes, or really any of the disciplines that we offer in Illinois, I'm sure Taylor, you agree with me that we highly recommend that more of our athletes take part in these.
Yes. So we have, so currently, if we have it as healthy athletes at an event, definitely take the advantage to come to get screened, because we have not had the opportunity to offer healthy athletes at every single event just yet. So when the opportunity comes, definitely take advantage of it. Definitely work around your schedule to make it happen, because we do our best to work with the competition schedule. Just like summer games, it's a 3-day event. We're there for 2 full days almost. So we try to accommodate that. So definitely, if you're coming up to a Special Olympics event, definitely take a look at the schedule to see if we have healthy habits, if we have healthy athletes, whatever healthy health education or screening event opportunity we have, definitely take advantage of it. It would definitely be worth your while.
Awesome. So in addition to the Special Olympics Lions Club International Foundation opening eyes, there's a few more disciplines that we have. Right?
Yeah, so we have more disciplines. I know I'm trying to get through all these because there's so much to share about all these disciplines. So I'll try to keep it short and sweet. So next, what I was going to bring up is a healthy hearing, which is our audiology discipline. So we have audiologists or ENT specialists that come on site to perform comprehensive hearing screenings. Not only do they do hearing tests, but they also check if there's any fluid buildup, wax inside the ear that might be preventing better hearing for the athlete, and they provide follow-up care in local areas that they live in. So they also provide education on ways to take care of their hearing health. So a lot of us, we wear like earbuds that go straight in the ear, volume all the way up. So they kind of talk about education on that. And then we have, going from ears to mouth, we have Special Smiles dentistry. They check for their overall health, teeth health, if they're experiencing any pain or discomfort, and they provide education on proper brushing and flossing technique. And they also talk about like how taking care of your oral health affects your whole body. I don't have any, I can't remember any information right now, but it's a really cool visualization they have on site as this poster of how like it can affect your hygiene, it can affect your organs, and all that kind of thing. So you learn a lot of these Special Smile events, and every athlete walks away with a goodie bag with a good floss, toothbrush, and toothpaste.
For the Special Smiles, I want to briefly share my experience when I went through it. They had, I think it was, it was more at the USA Games after the that I went through it, but they had a dinosaur that they like showed a dinosaur teeth.
Yeah, they have like a little, do a quick demonstration, because a lot of us, we learn by look visually. So watching a good demonstration of proper brushing, you're supposed to do circles along your front row and the bottom row. So it's great. They do a great job at educating everybody, even caregivers. Not only athletes are learning from this, but caregivers, coaches, families are. I learned so much from them over every discipline that we've offered so far.
Absolutely. And then one last thing about the Special Smile is, I know at the USA Games, they after going through that discipline, they gave us a electric toothbrush that where you can download a app on your phone that they can walk you through like not only how to use the electric toothbrush, but the app has like a picture of your mouth, so you know exactly where and how to properly brush.
That is so cool. I had not heard of that. Yeah, I'll have to look it up. I didn't realize that we've gotten to the point where we have an app for our toothbrushes now. How cool is that? But I love that resource, though, that this app could probably give you a better instruction on how to brush your teeth, because you may come to summer games, get a quick demonstration, do it for a couple of days, but sometimes we get back to our bad habits of brushing our teeth. We kind of forget. This app could be a constant reminder, and then eventually it becomes your daily routine. I love that. I'm gonna have to look that up.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'll after we're done recording, I'll send you an email, Taylor, with what that app is, because I've got it in my other not in the studio here, but
no rush, but please do when you have the chance. I would love to look into that for sure. So that's Special Smiles, and then we have health promotion, which is prevention and nutrition. It's really healthy habits, but with expertise on site to kind of give you a full education on these various topics. It could be dangers of tobacco, sun safety, nutrition, hydration, and they also do screenings on bone density, blood pressure, body mass index or BMI, and the purpose behind health promotion is to encourage our athletes to incorporate healthier behaviors and improve advocacy to be a better athlete, be a better person, take care of their well-being, overall well-being. So this is something that I would love to offer more throughout the state of Illinois. but we'll get there. And then we have strong minds, which is emotional health, which is something that is so important to focus on for all of us. So what strong minds really is, they're stations that provide examples of active strategies for maintaining emotional wellness under stress. We deal with stress every day, whether it's a good stress or bad stress. Good stress might be you got a new job, but now you have all this new responsibility, you have to meet people. So that could be stressful, but it's a good thing. But this bad stress, which could be, someone lost their job and then now they have to kind of figure out what the next steps are. So those are daily stress that we deal with. So we provide stations that help us cope through stressful situations that we deal with daily. So some of the strong minds some of the things that strong minds focuses on are expressing positive messaging, thoughts, connecting with others, especially surrounding yourself with a positive friendship, connect positive people, staying active by practicing meditation, yoga, practicing stretch, flexibility, stretch moves, deep breathing exercises, and that comes a long way, just kind of resetting your tone and your mindset. Really, any way that releases stress in a positive way. Gina, do you have any way that you do when you're dealing with good stress or bad stress?
Yeah, I was just making a couple of notes of full strong minds. A couple of things. One is which I took away from the Health Messenger training, the DIY stress ball. So that's one thing. And then the other thing that I've even before going through the Health Messenger training is writing down my thoughts. Writing down the thoughts that I,
So like journaling is something that helps you. And that's a really good. No, it's a good way to capture your thoughts and jot down how you're feeling. And then sometimes it's kind of cool to go back to, okay, this is how I'm feeling. This is how I overcame those thoughts, and this is how I'm doing now. It's kind of a good way to kind of reset, but a good way to vent without having to vent to somebody. Just want to vent to your journal. And that's a great way. I do that as well. One of my ways that I deal with stress is going outside, just getting some sun. Sometimes that helps me. Take a little walk. Sometimes just stepping away from my phone and the computer, playing with my dog. Those are my ways of dealing with stress. We all have different ways. So Strong Minds just helps brings awareness of how can we deal with stress, whether it's good or bad, in a positive way, without hurting others or hurting ourselves, anything like that.
Yeah, I also like to take walks as well to let stress out. So that's another thing. And then one last thing I wanted to add is the Strong Minds. When I was a Sergeant Shriver Global Messenger in Berlin at the World Games, that was something that I wish I knew. It wasn't until the very last day, the last day, right before I got in the taxi cab to go back to the airport, one of the other staff had gave me a Strong Minds bag of different Strong Minds activities, but that was the very last day going back to the airport. So I wish I would have had that during my time. But one last thing that I'll mention is, for those of you that are listening to this health series season 2, the end of this month of September, we will have hopefully one of the new Sergeant Shriver Global Messengers from Special Olympics Ireland, who I found out that her wonderful projects or whole platforms as a global messenger is focused on strong minds, because a lot of times when you are an athlete spokesperson, there's, whether it's in particular at the global level, but we can relate it to the local level as well, that there's so many opportunities as athlete leaders or health messengers that we're asked to do. And so, so it'll be exciting to talk to her at the end of this month of September.
That's gonna be a really cool episode. There'll be a lot to gain from that episode, so I'll definitely look forward to that one. Take a listen to what they have to say. Because strong mind is such a big topic. Talk about emotional health. There's all sorts of different stressors. So it's really important for everybody to understand what their stressors are. And that's the purpose of Strong Minds, to help us understand what our stressors are and what helps relieve our feelings of stress. So that's Strong Minds. You'll have the opportunity to dive more into that. So that'd be really cool. Just teamwork disciplines to cover. So we have FunFitness, which is physical therapy. We have physical therapists and students come out and they perform flexibility, strength, balance, and aerobic fitness exams to essentially just test the athletes' range of motion, their balance, their agility, and they provide education and exercise recommendations based on their performance throughout the exam. I know, Daniel, you went through FunFitness at Summer Games. Can you share a little bit about your experience?
Yeah, absolutely. What I loved about going through the FunFitness, which I've gone through it a couple times, both at Summer Games at the local level and then also at the USA Games as well. And what I loved about that experience was how the physical therapists help you to know how to properly be able to balance and to count your steps, and then I'm stretching to see how far that you can stretch, because a lot of those I'm not. My sister is a physical therapist, so I don't know the correct words to.
There's a lot of terminology that comes with it. So essentially, they test your range of motion, your balance, and just kind of see if there are any underlying issues that are going with your joints or your muscles. And so it's a really great benefit for all the athletes, because, you're running, you're jumping, you're doing all of these different movements on the competition field. And sometimes these movements affect our body more than they should. And some of us may not practice stretching before and after a workout. So it does take a toll on our bodies. So that's where, FunFitness comes in and just helps us identify, hey, this might be why you're leaning towards this way more than leaning towards your right than your left more. These are some exercises you can do to help, balance that out. So definitely, I'm glad you had a good experience with that. It's, I think, a lot of people undervalue FunFitness. I think, I appreciate FunFitness coming out to our events and really helping out athletes that do competition all year round. So, thanks for sharing your experience with FunFitness. And then we have, lastly, Fit Podiatry, and essentially what they do, we have foot care providers that come out to perform screenings for athletes, their foot and ankle health. Check their footwear fit, if their shoes fit properly, and kind of see the condition of their foot health, really. Because a lot of times, I know I'm guilty of this too. A lot of times we wear shoes for style and not necessarily what is right for our feet. So these healthcare providers will come out, just kind of do exams. After they do exams, kind of share what their findings are. These are the shoes we recommend for you, just based on because you're flat-footed or you have really high arches. So they kind of do a full examination and kind of provide what shoes are right, what socks should you be wearing. Some benefit from tighter socks, some benefit from longer socks. So that's podiatry or fit feet.
I wanted to briefly kind of share my experience with Fit Feet because
perfect.
The 2019 Special Olympics World Games in Abu Dhabi, I went through it over there, and one of the global ambassadors, Bob Beeman, who's a Olympic athlete, he has a brand of a running shoe, and he gave out the shoe. I still have it just outside of the studio here. It has there's no shoelaces. There's like a buckle that's on the side of the shoe, so it's made for running. And what I really found valuable about going through the Fit Feet is just like what you said. They were able to measure my feet, and then even after that experience, I was able to so like for work, by going through that, you're able to kind of know what the proper shoe that
Right.
you need, whether it's for competition.
Right. There's so many shoe brands out there. There's New Balance, there's Asics, there's Nikes, there's Adidas, and a lot of these shoes are great shoes, but sometimes if they're not perfect for our feet, they don't get the right balance, the right support. So that's why we have specialists come out to tell us, hey, this is the shoe you need. So it's definitely a great opportunity, and that's so cool. I'm really glad you got to share your experience because it's really, you get a lot out of it, and you learn a lot about, well, I'm not wearing the right shoe, or I am wearing the right shoe. So
yeah, awesome.
Did they tell you what shoe brand is best for you, or did they give you like a couple options?
No, I don't recall them telling me a particular shoe brand. It was more at the Abu Dhabi World Games, it was more, there was the brand of shoe that they actually gave us that was branded for those World Games. Like they had this Olympic athlete, he branded shoes just for Special Olympics, and it was so like that one particular brand was, I think it was Pierce Footwear, I believe.
Okay.
And yeah, so that was the only type of pair that.
That's really cool, because like even like if for example we were to partner with one shoe brand, a lot of times that brand offers so many different variety of different shoes. So typically a lot of them do offer shoes that fit well for people that have flat feet, and then those that have high arches. So that's really cool that a brand, shoe brand, was able to come out and provide that opportunity for you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. So that wraps up those 8 disciplines, but I'm sure a lot of our listeners want to know now, after hearing about all these 8 disciplines, but we only offer a few of them in Illinois, which if they go to the webpage on sawyer.org/healthy athletes, they can see which ones that we offer in Illinois. But maybe we can briefly talk about what the benefit for us, because we hopefully our listeners kind of got a first-hand perspective for myself of how it benefits the athletes, but we could share a little bit more from across Illinois and the nation of why all athletes should go through the world's largest health program for those of us with intellectual
Yeah, yeah. We hope to one day offer all disciplines in Illinois. We are working towards that goal, and we will achieve it one day. But it yeah. So the reason why we offer, and a lot of people ask me, you offer this for free? Yes, for free. The reason why is because unfortunately for so many athletes, especially athletes from Illinois, across the state, across the nation, the world, do not have many of them do not have the same or better health care than others. There are so many reasons for these barriers why they don't have the proper health care they should have. And this is because of insurance limitation, transportation, lack of resources, especially for those that live in the rural areas versus urban, fear of doctors. Maybe the athlete does not have a good experience going to a doctor, and now they are refusing to go anymore. And also to give everyone kind of perspective on why equal healthcare or why a healthy athlete program is so important is because of these stats. This was research done by the Special Olympics a couple years ago. For every 10 athletes on a Special Olympics team, 2 have never had an eye exam, 4 need new prescription for glasses, 2 have potential hearing loss, 4 of them have untreated tooth decay, and 2 of them are in need for dental care. And likely 6 of the athletes are overweight and at risk for chronic health conditions. So this is why we really push for our healthy athletes, and we always looking to partner with local medical providers to help make this happen for our athletes. And then the healthy athletes is not just for our athletes, but it's also for our healthcare professionals to give them experience and increase knowledge of best practices in caring and communicating with people of intellectual disabilities. So not only are our athletes getting free healthcare that they deserve, but our healthcare providers are getting the experience and building the confidence and building connections with our athletes. So in my book, that's a win-win.
Yeah. Awesome. And I wanted to kind of further clarify the benefit for us athletes. An example that happened at, I believe it was the Abu Dhabi World Games. It might have also happened at the Berlin World Games, but I know definitely at the Abu Dhabi World Games. There was I believe it was a team from, I'm blanking on the country. It was either Africa or it was some country that doesn't have a lot of the health services that we have in the U.S. But there was a team, and I'm blanking on what sport that they were competing in, but they weren't able to heal their coaches or the officials in the competition. And when they went to the World Games, they went through the healthy athletes, in particular, they went through the healthy healing, and they were able to get free healing aids. For the first time, they were able to heal. I don't know, Taylor, if you heard of that story that happened a few years ago, but that's an example on the global level, but that it also, you can relate that to the local level as well. That's an example of the need of why, so many of us athletes need the necessity of, because like what we'll hear in just a little bit, like the clinical directors and these health professionals are trained of how to talk and interact with us, and so that's the uniqueness that health athletes have.
That's a prime example of why we do what we do, why we have healthy athletes, and why we push for more, to host more throughout the state, so more of our athletes have more opportunity to get through all the health disciplines that we offer. And it's a great opportunity for all health professionals and students that are looking to become better professionals this is a great opportunity for them to learn how to work with people with intellectual disabilities. Even outside of that, we all have different communication needs and different ways of absorbing information. We all need, and we will all benefit from healthy athletes, whether
Awesome.
you're an athlete or you're a healthcare provider.
Absolutely. And so, speaking of that, of the healthcare providers, I know you have said this a few times during this episode, but I'll want to remind our listeners that we're always looking for healthcare volunteers and students to help all athletes. So if you're listening to this, if you're listening to Taylor and me right now, please take a look at our resources, soil.org/healthy athletes, and the link will be in the description below as well. And contact Taylor if you're in Illinois and interested in volunteering. And speaking of that, if we've got during after I went through the healthy athletes screenings at our summer games, we had an opportunity to sit down with one of our healthy healing clinical directors, right? I'm Taylor, to hear your whole perspective of.
Yeah, you were able to talk to Jenn Ragusa, who works outside of Bloomington, and she's been a clinical director, a healthy hearing clinical director for, I want to say, 3 or 4 years now, and she comes to our summer games every year. And just hearing what she has to say gives a lot of perspective of why she returns every year, her passion for being a volunteer, and it's a good chat you guys had.
Yeah, absolutely. So, folks, we're going to come back to wrap up this episode, but we hope that you all will enjoy this. This was recorded on location from the 2024 Special Olympics Illinois State Summer Games in Bloomington, Normal, Illinois, with our Healthy Healing Clinical Director, Jenn, right here on specialchronicles.com.
You're listening to the Special Chronicles podcast and our health mini-series 2.0. I'm here at Special Olympics Illinois Summer Games at Healthy Athletes, and here with one of our clinical directors, Jenn. You want to introduce yourself?
Absolutely. My name is Jennifer Ragusa. I am an audiologist at Illinois State University, and I've been a clinical director for Healthy Hearing for the last several years, I think since 2018. So
awesome. So quite a while. Can you tell us, I'm sure some of our listeners might know what is healthy healing, one of the disciplines in that athletes go through in Healthy Athletes, but you share from your perspective what is healthy healing discipline?
Absolutely, I'd be happy to. So healthy hearing is, first of all, of course, checking for can our athletes hear appropriately, but we also look in their ears to screen for like things in their ear canal, like earwax or other stuff that shouldn't be there. We also can screen for ear infections in our athletes, and then of course testing whether or not they are able to hear appropriately, and then get them referred to the appropriate personnel in their area, because we understand not everyone's around here.
So this year, do you know about how many screenings have taken place? I just went through the screenings and passed at the Healthy Healing.
Congratulations.
So can you Do you know about? I know today's Saturday, so we still have more
Right.
screenings. But do you know about how many?
My guess is around 150. Usually around the 150 to 200 mark for most years that we're here.
Awesome. And sure, I'm sure most people, most of the athletes are interacting with the volunteers. But can you share from your perspective as a clinical director, how did you get started, and what is it like being a clinical director for Healthy Healing?
Absolutely. So I started by just reaching out to headquarters saying, this is something that I want to be a part of, that I think it's a very important thing. I'd love to be able to volunteer my time and help out. What can I do? And I got an email back pretty quickly saying that, hey, you should be a clinical director. We will send you to training. So I'm like, okay. I kind of jumped in both feet first. They sent me to a Train the Trainer event in Austin, Texas. And that is where I learned how to be a clinical director. And I joined up with another clinical director that was already here at the summer games. And she's kind of stepped down, and I'm then the person who's been mostly taking the reins for the last couple of years.
Awesome. And you've, and when we were walking over here to the space where we'll
Yeah.
record in, it looks like we're underground.
Kind of are.
You were saying that you've been the clinical director for a few years. Why do you return to all events, to Healthy Athletes, to summer games each year?
I honestly have fallen in love with the Special Olympics organization. I love being able to interact with the athletes. It's always such a joyful event, and I'm so glad to be able to share my passion and my discipline with Special Olympics and with the athletes, and being able to help guide toward better management. And so that way our athletes can have the best healthcare possible. And part of that, of course, is hearing. If you cannot hear what your doctor or coach or fellow athlete is saying, you're not going to be able to perform your best.
Yeah. Awesome. Speaking of that, two final questions to wrap up. First, kind of jumping off of what you said and talking about the benefits. I was at the 2019 World Games in Abu Dhabi, and I remember hearing a story of, and I forgot what team they're from, but there was a team that went through Healthy Healing. They didn't have hearing aids, and then when they went through Healthy Healing, they were able to receive hearing aids for the first time, and then were able to hear their coaches. And so that was at the international level. But at the local level, is there a story that you have seen, whether it was this year or from your previous time at Healthy Athletes?
There are two that stand out to me. One is an athlete who when she came through, we said, it looks like there's a lot of wax buildup in your ears. I really think you need to get that taken out. And they came back the next year and shared that they did go to a professional to have their wax removed, and they found a big infection behind the wax. And they did not know it was there. And they said if it had gotten much worse, they would have needed to do surgery on that athlete to try to remove all of the infection. So because they came through Healthy Hearing, they didn't need surgery. And of course, I have a couple different stories of people who didn't know they had a hearing loss, come through Healthy Hearing, realize, I probably should get my hearing tested, and have then gotten hearing aids. And then because they came through Healthy Hearing, they were able to then go through that process and be able to join in the world and that much more.
Awesome. Yeah. So I'm sure many of us are grateful that we have this program where after we'll compete, and then we'll able to get the inclusive health support. What are the benefits and kind of speaking to, hopefully we'll have some listeners, old viewers, because I guess people now listen or watch.
Yeah.
I prefer audio podcasts, but some of our viewers
Same.
will watch videos. What are the benefits for the clinical directors, for students? I'm sure
Yes.
we've had students that have been volunteering, and athletes for them to be involved in healthy athletes and promoting our inclusive health movement.
Absolutely. I'm able to share with my students how to provide inclusive healthcare for everybody. And that starts at Healthy Hearing. Most of all the students that we have here are actually part of the Illinois State University Student Academy of Audiology. And they actually get volunteer hours for participating. We frequently have volunteers from other universities within Illinois. I also have a lot of volunteers from other audiologists in the area. So then my students then get to interact with those audiologists. And then they know, because those audiologists are here and a part of this, that they also are a part of inclusive healthcare and will treat patients appropriately, and rightfully so. So it's benefit to the students both from a volunteer hours standpoint, as well as being able to experience inclusive healthcare.
Awesome. And to wrap up our time together, ever since I came back from the 2019 World Games in Abu Dhabi, we of course want our listeners to consume the content, but even more than that, take something away and bring action to the community, whether it's sharing with someone who's a clinical director or a student to get involved in our healthy athletes, to get involved in healthy healing. What does I'm going to rephrase this a little bit to kind of put a inclusive health spin to it. But what does inclusive health mean to you?
Mm-hmm. To me, inclusive health means being able to treat every athlete or patient in a way that they can receive their best health care and do their best, and in whatever method I need to be able to do that. And make sure that I treat the entirety of a person and not just my little window into a person and their life. Awesome.
Well, that's a perfect way to wrap up our time together. Our guest has been Jenn. I guess it's in clinical director from Healthy Healing. Thank you again, Jenn, for taking the time to talk and educate all listeners about Healthy Healing.
Thank you very much for having me, Daniel. I'm happy to promote my profession and Healthy Hearing as much as I can.
Thank you. So for those of you listening, you can follow our inclusive health miniseries 2.0 on specialchronicles.com/health, as well as to find resources. We've got resources for our healthy athletes and how you can get involved. So thanks for listening, and until then, choose to include.
Love that, Daniel.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we hope that was Jenn. There was a empowering interview with her. Taylor, I know we've got a few minutes left in this extra long Healthy Athletes episode, but did you have any comments from hearing from Jenn? She also answered what does inclusive health mean to her at the end of the episode. So I'm going to hold off. All of you listening will have to wait till next week to hear my answer to the question. But Taylor, did you have any comments from hearing from Jenn?
It was just so great to hear her perspective and how she said it's just a joy to be around the athletes, and share her passion with us, which is so great to hear. It's so great to have these connections with, such dedicated volunteers. And hearing her answer for inclusive health just aligns with what Special Olympics promotes. We talk about, just making sure that everybody has equal access to all areas of health, so that way they can be the best on and off the playing field. So it's just really cool to hear her perspective, and hopefully a lot of your viewers gain this thing from her.
Yeah, absolutely. And for those of you that listening, we hope that you have enjoyed this episode. If you have enjoyed this episode, please go on over to Apple Podcasts and leave a positive review and 5-star rating, and share this episode with, you can text it to your friend, you can share this episode on your social media. Please share this episode and this health series, Inclusive Health Series, season 2. If you go on over to specialchronicles.com/health, we have this season 2. We have all of these episodes from Becoming a Health Messenger, all the way through these weekly episodes in September. And then we have season 1, which was recorded during the COVID-19 pandemic. We've got a bunch of season 1 really focused on fitness at home and some fitness challenges at home, which maybe we'll have to Taylor, after we do these 5 episodes, maybe we'll have to talk about maybe bringing back a move challenge, and do an episode on this series about a movement challenge. Maybe we can talk about that.
I would love to. Yeah, once we roll into the cooler days and winter, we're all going to have to get creative and staying active while being indoors. So I'm all for it.
Yeah. So maybe we can. So for those of you listening, if you guys would like us to do a movement challenge, or have any feedback, specialchronicles.com/contact, and then the Healthy Athletes page. We have if you go to specialchronicles.com/health, underneath these episodes, we have included the links to Healthy Athletes, links to the Fit 5, all of the health resources we have included. There's also, if you scroll down on that page, there's some cooking videos and some hydration guides and fitness guides on this podcast page. So thank you again, Taylor, for coming up. The next episode in this series, we're going to be covering healthy habits.
Yeah, all the things with healthy habits. Yeah, where we talk about all the topics and dive a little deeper into Fit 5, nutrition, hydration, physical activity, sun safety, tobacco avoidance, all the good stuff.
Awesome. And so you guys do not want to miss the next episode of the series, of this Inclusive Health series, season 2, as well as Inclusive Advocacy, and an episode all about strong minds is coming up. So you guys do not want to miss. So please stay following right here. And until then, remember, choose to include, and we'll talk to you next week right here on the Special Chronicles podcast. Take care. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Special Chronicles podcast. Our podcast was produced by Daniel Smikowski on the Special Chronicles Network. Follow Special Chronicles on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Subscribe, rate, and review Special Chronicles on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. our website, specialchronicles.com, where you can stream our archives of over 500 episodes absolutely for free. Also, there's a list of our favorites, original series, award-winning columns, and blogs. And sign up for our newsletter to receive exclusive bonus content delivered to your inbox. Again, specialchronicles.com. Special Chronicles is hosted by Podbean Podcast Hosting. Our live streams are powered by StreamYard. Thanks as always to our business manager, Adam Smukowski, who always encourages us to never give up. I'm Daniel Smukowski, back next week with more stories.
Special Chronicles, giving respect and a voice to people with special needs.